How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. We have some crazy stuff happening, and I apologize for the camera. I'm just sitting out here in Greece. Just wanted to get this video in because there is some crazy stuff happening in the crypto market, and it's almost midnight here, but I think we should talk about this. I'm going to try to keep it nice and short, no editing, because I want to get this to you as soon as possible, and honestly, it's just late here. But there's three different things I want to cover. One is a crypto exchange that is now getting looked into by the SEC. Supposedly might leave the US, and it's actually one of the most well-respected websites left, I think, or one of the most well-respected exchanges left. We have new Tesla numbers, so they just reported. I'll keep that really short. And then a token that I would stay clear of, one that I think has some major issues that we should cover. So we're going to get through all that. If you don't mind, please hit the subscribe button underneath the video. You can also turn that bell notification so you know right when I post future videos. There's also a link down there to the Patreon so you can know exactly when I buy and sell different cryptos. Now, as we can see here, crypto market is down a little bit here today, maybe because of some of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that's going on right now, some of the news that's coming out. Bitcoin just under 28,000. I think it's fine over the long term. We'll see pullbacks, but let's cover the first non-crypto thing on this. Tesla produced over 440,000 vehicles and delivered over 422,000 vehicles in the first quarter of 2023. Now, that is a new record. That's 36% higher than last year. So, pretty impressive numbers. It was a little bit above Wall Street's estimates, a little bit below some retail estimates that were floating around. But I think that's quite positive. Now, I don't know if we'll see Tesla actually go up tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually fell down because we had such a green day, I think, with a lot of anticipation for this quarter's deliveries. A lot of people probably buying before this just in case they blew out deliveries because a lot of people thought that was going to happen. So don't be surprised if they do fall down, but the company itself is doing fantastic. Now, let's talk about the exchange now that is possibly in trouble. Crypto exchange Crypto.com is under investigation by U.S. government agencies and may collapse or stop operating in the U.S. This is coming from Whale Chart. Now, this is a very large Twitter account here. Let me follow them. I see their posts all the time, but they have 300,000 followers. They are usually pretty good. I'm not seeing this confirmed by other accounts, so I don't know if they have someone on the inside of either the U.S. government or more likely Crypto.com. There's someone leaking information to them, but Crypto.com has not mentioned anything. If you have your money on Crypto.com and you're in the US, I would just suggest getting it off, just like all these other exchanges. Whenever there's an issue, just get your crypto off. It's better to just keep all your crypto off on cold storage if you can, and then just move the money in when you do want to do trades, in my opinion. Now let's move on to the big story here today. Arbitrum is in trouble. I would not hold Arbitrum right now, and I would not be buying it. As you can see here, Arbitrum Foundation was looking to receive $1 billion if a proposal passed. Now, this is from yesterday. Days after Arbitrum tokens airdrop, the voting on a proposal to introduce a governing body for the freshly formed decentralized autonomous organization has begun. The proposal named Arbitrum Improvement Proposal 1 outlines steps to create what it calls the Arbitrum Foundation, a company that would be responsible for growing the Arbitrum ecosystem. The foundation would be based in the Cayman Islands, so strike number one maybe, because usually if, in the U.S., what we've seen is a lot of companies that were trying to avoid the SEC basically moved out of, out of the U.S., went to the Cayman Islands or something like that, the Bahamas, where they have less strict rules, and a lot of them are in trouble now. So strike number one from the U.S. government. But let's continue because that doesn't matter that much. They would require $3.5 million, set to cover legal fees as well as administrative and registration expenses. So not that much. But they have roughly 3.5 billion ARB tokens worth roughly $4.8 billion have so far been transferred to an address named Arbitrum DAO Treasury 1, making it the largest ARB token holder. So this is for the DAO. But now they are saying that they want $750 million in ARB tokens, roughly over $1 billion, to go to a secondary administrative budget wallet, and the Arbitrum Foundation would control this. Now, this is just from a day or two ago, and now it broke out that basically they went and they had this proposal. They got shot down, like a lot of people voted against it, and they went and took the tokens and sold some of them anyway, and then loaned a bunch of them. So they say basically the goals of the AIP1 were to engage with the community about initial decisions and ultimately have the token holders signal their support by ratifying the initial decisions and framework via DAO voting, and we're grateful for community feedback. So they were trying to get feedback, they got feedback, and that's all. They went against it basically anyways. I say to address two questions that are asked, the foundation did not sell 50 million ARB tokens, and the rationale behind an initial allocation of 750 was well covered in the detailed forum posts. Regarding the on-chain transfers, 50 million ARB tokens, 40 million ARB tokens have been allocated to a loan to a sophisticated actor in the financial market space, and 10 million has been converted to fiat and dedicated towards operational costs. So they say back here that they did not sell 50 million ARB tokens, and then in the next post they say they gave a 40 million ARB loan, and then they sold the other they converted it to fiat. They did not sell it. They converted to fiat dedicated towards operational costs. So basically, as soon as they airdrop a token, right, which a lot of them probably got money for, the foundation or the people behind the project got a lot of ARB tokens. They have a lot of ARB tokens that they keep for themselves, and then they give themselves over $10 million to put towards operational costs. So basically just raising money from the liquidity. And then they also loan crypto, which has been really sketchy in the past. We've seen how well that works. People get flushed out, they go on leverage, and it's pretty sketchy. That's why I say that I would say far away from this. Keep in mind that 750 million ARB tokens is almost $1 billion, which is 70% of the ARB supply. So if they just start diluting it, and if they start using the DAO treasury tokens, right, they have a huge amount, like 50% basically, of the fully diluted market cap that they can just sell to raise capital. Or even if you say, okay, the treasury will use the DAO and they'll actually vote on it, but the other $1 billion worth, so 10% of the market cap, is basically just taking liquidity from retail investors, selling it, dumping it on them, right? Dumping a huge amount on the open market to fund their own pockets, to fund their own operations. That's something that you have to realize when you basically buy a token like this, that this can happen. We want to be in tokens that have a very close market cap to the fully diluted market cap, or they're going to dilute over a long period, right? Like Bitcoin or Ethereum. And you do not want to be the one that is buying when someone's dumping $1 billion worth of crypto when the market cap's 1.5 billion. So be careful out there. I'm not trying to spread fear, uncertainty, and doubt, but that's one of the reasons I have not been buying Arbitrum, is just because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to dump a lot. There are a lot of people that got airdrops. Now, I think Arbitrum probably will do well, and it has a lot of activity, but I'd rather buy something like Ethereum that I think is less risky than Arbitrum, and it just benefits from any layer 2s that do well. It's not one specific layer 2 that has to do well. Now, let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Let me know if you're buying. Now, if you want to know my thoughts on Ethereum, because they do have a big upgrade here very soon in the next 10 days, you can watch this video on the end screen that I recorded just earlier today. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.